In a dramatic escalation of the conflict unfolding in the Middle East, Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, has rejected diplomatic efforts aimed at calming tensions with the United States and Israel. The decision signals a hardening stance from Tehran at a time when the region is already facing one of its most dangerous confrontations in decades. Mojtaba Khamenei assumed power in March 2026 after his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed in a series of airstrikes carried out during the opening phase of the ongoing war between Iran, the United States, and Israel. His rise to the leadership came amid massive instability, with Iranian leadership structures reorganizing rapidly to maintain control following the assassination of the longtime ruler. Soon after taking office, Khamenei signaled that Iran would not accept any diplomatic proposals for de-escalation. According to senior officials familiar with the matter, proposals designed to ease tensions, including possible ceasefire discussions with Washington, were quietly delivered to Tehran through intermediary nations. But the response from Iran's leadership was swift and uncompromising. A senior official revealed that Tehran dismissed the proposals without hesitation, making it clear that the country would not seek peace under the current conditions. There would be no pause, no compromise, only defiance. The message delivered by the Iranian leadership was unmistakable. Tehran believes the war must continue until its adversaries suffer decisive consequences. Officials close to the leadership say Mojtaba Khamenei's position toward the United States and Israel is uncompromising and driven by a demand for retaliation. He said Mojtaba Khamenei's stance for revenge against the United States and Israel was very tough and serious. According to the same sources, the Iranian leader expressed that peace negotiations could only occur after Iran's enemies are forced into submission. He said it was not the right time for peace until the U.S. and Israel were brought to their knees, accept defeat, and pay compensation. The comments underline the depth of hostilities shaping the current crisis. The war itself began on February 28, 2026, when U.S. and Israeli-backed strikes targeted senior Iranian leadership and strategic infrastructure inside Iran.
The attacks killed multiple high-ranking officials, including Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The operation triggered immediate retaliation from Iran and pushed the region into a rapidly expanding conflict. In the weeks that followed, missile and drone attacks spread beyond Iran's borders, hitting several Gulf states and causing disruptions across the Middle East.
Retaliatory strikes targeted oil facilities and military sites in Saudi Arabia and other regional countries, further intensifying the conflict. Despite heavy bombardment and the loss of top leadership figures, intelligence assessments indicate that Iran's political system remains intact. The country's powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has reportedly consolidated power internally and tightened control over strategic assets, including the Strait of Hormuz. The waterway has become one of the most critical flashpoints in the war. The Strait of Hormuz handles roughly a fifth of global oil shipments, making it one of the most important energy routes in the world. Any disruption to traffic through the strait can send shockwaves through global markets. With fighting escalating, the strait has become partially blocked, causing severe disruptions to shipping and contributing to rising energy prices around the world. While Iran has emphasized its willingness to use the strait as leverage, the United States has begun discussing the possibility of forming an international naval coalition to secure shipping routes and escort tankers through the region. Amid the intensifying conflict, U.S. President Donald Trump has defended the military campaign against Iran and described the scale of American strikes in sweeping terms. Donald Trump said, "We hit them so hard like nobody's ever been hit." According to the U.S. president, American forces targeted a wide range of Iranian military infrastructure, including missile sites, drone factories, and command centers. Donald Trump said, "We've extinguished most of their missiles. We've extinguished most of their drones." He also claimed that the strikes had eliminated several levels of Iran's leadership structure. Donald Trump said, "We've fully extinguished 2 layers of leadership and probably a third if you believe some story." The president portrayed the campaign as a decisive blow against what he described as decades of Iranian aggression in the Middle East. Yet despite these claims, analysts say the war remains far from over. Iranian military units continue to launch retaliatory strikes, and the country's leadership appears determined to continue fighting rather than negotiate. One of the most surprising developments in the conflict has been Iran's decision to launch attacks across the Gulf region. Several countries that traditionally maintain cautious or neutral relations with Tehran were unexpectedly drawn into the conflict after missile and drone strikes hit locations in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Kuwait. The attacks shocked many observers who believed Iran would avoid provoking states that had previously maintained workable relations with Tehran. President Trump himself acknowledged that even experts had not predicted such moves. Donald Trump said nobody thought they were going to hit. Nobody, according to the president, analysts believed those countries were unlikely targets because they had coexisted with Iran for years. Donald Trump said there was no expert that would say that was going to happen. Trump argued that the strikes demonstrated the unpredictability of the Iranian leadership and reinforced Washington's decision to launch the military campaign. As the conflict escalated, the Strait of Hormuz emerged as a central point of concern. The narrow waterway between Iran and Oman is vital to global energy supplies, and tensions there have caused widespread alarm among governments and energy markets. During remarks on the situation, President Trump warned that navigating the strait has become extremely risky. Donald Trump said Hormuz, a famous, wonderful, beautiful place, but you wouldn't want to be necessarily sailing a boat there right now. At the same time, he insisted that American forces had significantly degraded Iran's naval capabilities. Donald Trump said we've taken out their entire Navy. Trump also described specialized Iranian vessels designed to lay naval mines in the region. Donald Trump said their sole function is to lift a mine into the water and drop it a certain number of feet down. He claimed U.S. forces had already destroyed many of those vessels. Donald Trump said we've taken out all of them. Despite those assertions, the possibility of mines being deployed in the strait continues to worry shipping companies and global energy markets. Another layer of uncertainty surrounds the condition and whereabouts of Iran's new supreme leader. Since assuming power, Mojtaba Khamenei has not appeared publicly, sparking intense speculation about his health and whether he was injured during the strike that killed his father. Some reports suggest he narrowly escaped the attack moments before it occurred, while others claim he may have sustained injuries. When asked about the situation, President Trump acknowledged that U.S. officials themselves are unsure about the Iranian leader's condition. Donald Trump said so far nobody knows. He added that the lack of public appearances has fueled speculation. Donald Trump said nobody has seen him. The uncertainty surrounding Khamenei's status has only intensified the atmosphere of intrigue surrounding the conflict. During his remarks, Trump also revisited earlier decisions made during his first presidency, including the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in 2020. The Iranian commander who led the elite Quds Force was killed in a U.S. drone strike in Baghdad, an event that significantly escalated tensions between Washington and Tehran. Trump argued that eliminating Soleimani weakened Iran's strategic capabilities and prevented planned attacks against U.S. forces. Donald Trump said, had I not killed him, it's possible that we would not be this far advanced in destroying Iran. The president also criticized previous diplomatic efforts to limit Iran's nuclear program, particularly the nuclear agreement negotiated under former President Barack Obama. Donald Trump said, if I didn't terminate Barack Obama's Iran nuclear deal, Israel would be gone. Trump has long argued that Iran's leadership seeks confrontation with the United States and its allies. During his remarks, he referred to slogans frequently used by Iranian leaders. Donald Trump said, when they say death to America, you should believe them. The president warned that allowing Iran to develop nuclear weapons would have created catastrophic consequences. Donald Trump said if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it. Despite the severity of the conflict, Trump expressed confidence that the war could end relatively soon. Donald Trump said, sure, it'll be soon. However, he also acknowledged that the fighting might not stop immediately. Donald Trump said, I don't think so, but it'll be soon. Trump argued that the outcome of the conflict would ultimately create a safer world. Donald Trump said, we're going to have a much safer world when it's wrapped up. For now, however, the war continues to reshape the Middle East. Thousands of casualties have been reported across the region. Infrastructure has been damaged, and oil markets remain volatile as the Strait of Hormuz crisis continues to threaten global energy supplies. While diplomacy appears stalled, both sides remain determined to pursue their objectives. Tehran insists that resistance will continue until its enemies are forced to concede defeat. Washington maintains that the campaign aims to eliminate Iran's military capabilities and remove what it views as a long-standing threat to regional stability. As the conflict intensifies, the world watches anxiously, aware that the outcome could alter the balance of power across the Middle East for years to come.